Hi there, I'm Dan Rinkus and welcome to Season 2 of AIU Perspectives. We are so excited to bring you another season about the people and programs here at the AIU. We have so many great stories, in fact, that I needed a little help this season. Meet a little help, Melissa Meyers.
Hello, I'm so excited to join the team here at the AIU and to help share all the great things happening here. And this episode, of course, is no exception.
AIU Family Centers are so much more than a gathering place for families.
Thank goodness for the Family Center. I don't know where I'd be right now.
We learn how these community hubs have become indispensable, how the services they provide keep families together.
A lot of our families who may not have their own family support, parents in the picture or siblings, we are that family support for them.
The AIU plays host to students who are focused on positive behaviors.
This type of learning environment for them, the hands-on, the project-based, the listening, and the reproducing is really cutting edge, I feel like, and important for them to be able to have social conversations with kids that they just met.
We break down PBIS, how it works, why it's effective, and the lessons students are learning that help them inside and outside the classroom.
Plus, the AIU serves Allegheny County, but what does that really look like? Facts and Figures shows you how the agency serves every learner, from cities and suburbs to rural areas and everywhere in between.
Right now, though, we're going to learn a little bit more about our family centers.
That's right. I found out just how valuable these centers are as their very existence was called into question.
Among the many programs and services the Allegheny Intermediate Unit has to offer, family centers are one of the most critical. With 10 family centers across Allegheny County, each one offers a variety of support, including the development of children, effective parenting, preserving the family unit, and economic self-sufficiency.
Families can be just intimidated by talking to other people, so when you have us there, we're kind of just that go get them kind of person, and we just support them through everything.
Family centers provide a wide array of services. This ranges from home visits and parenting classes to other needs, such as providing resources like food, diapers, and formula, or even connecting families to other services within the communities. Now, these services can vary based on the strengths and needs of the family, but the overall goal is to help parents and caregivers enhance skills and resolve problems in order to promote optimal child development.
Here in the Mon Valley, a lot of lower income families, but we want to give them the chance to be on an even playing field with everyone else. We also want children to enter school on time. We want them to have those supports in place if they need them.
Medina Gowdlock is the site director of the Duquesne Family Center. To her, family centers are more than just buildings that provide resources. They're embedded in the community. These centers support families through the good and bad, the ups and downs, and ultimately work to empower those who walk through their doors.
I think it's a safe spot. It's a safe place. It's like family. A lot of times the families don't have extended family, so we're that family.
That statement holds true for Onika St. Clair. Onika first heard about the family centers during her son's doctor's appointment. From there, she learned about all the other services the family centers have to offer. She's especially grateful for the additional resources like diapers and baby formula. When we spoke with Onika, she specifically mentioned Kim Robinson, someone she says has become like a mother to her. Between checking up on her, offering support as a first-time mother, Kim was always there.
I was like, what? There's people in this world like this. Did I just fall on something?
But what may seem out of the ordinary to Onika is routine for those who work at these family centers. Melissa Ryder is the site director at the East Allegheny Family Center, and the support Onika talks about receiving is what Melissa believes the AIU Family Centers are all about.
A lot of our families who may not have their own family support, parents in the picture or siblings, we are that family support for them.
Whether it's a question about child development, a need to pay utilities, or in the words of Melissa herself, anything at all, they're there to help these families any way they can.
We're there to support them, and if they would happen to be in a situation with children, youth, and families, we're their advocate.
And sometimes that support is all you need. Mother of 5, Lynn Lowther, has been coming to the Family Center for about 3 decades now. Her main reason? Support and knowing what to do as a learning mom.
You get confused on what to do, where to go, who to turn to, and thank goodness for the Family Center and Holly and Rob, and I don't know where I'd be right now.
Lynn had 3 children of her own, which, as you can imagine, made for a busy house. She then took on 2 more kids who at the time were in a really bad place. Taking on 2 additional kids put a lot of pressure on Lynn. She says her own 3 kids lost out on a lot, making it one of the hardest moments of her life.
I got through it. I don't know how, but I got through it. And it was all the Family Center's doings that got me through that.
And that wasn't the only time the Family Center was there for Lynn when she needed it most. When her daughter was pregnant with her granddaughter, they found out she had a congenital diaphragmatic hernia, meaning all of her organs were up in her chest. She recalls the birth of her granddaughter as the most traumatic birth she's ever experienced.
If it wasn't for the Family Center, I don't think my granddaughter would be here right now.
At one point, Lynn's granddaughter was on life support, being told she wouldn't survive. She soon learned about a top-of-the-line doctor for congenital diaphragmatic hernia repairs down at Johns Hopkins in Florida.
There's no way that we could go down there. How are we going to afford to go down there? There was no way. My daughter was on welfare. I was working, but I was supporting my house. How am I going to get there?
That's where the Family Center comes in once again. They found the resources for Lynn and her family and helped get them to Florida. Shortly after, they were set up with the Ronald McDonald House.
3 months down there, they did the repair, and she's now going to be 3 years old March 7th.
To this day, Lynn still visits the Family Center with her grandchildren, but she tells us it's also support for her. Whether she's having a bad day or in need of a little boost, this is her support system. In the fall of 2024, we were reminded of just how valuable the Family Centers are when they were almost taken away. Funding for these programs were at risk for the first time in 30 years. Fortunately, with the help of advocacy efforts across the county, Allegheny County's 2025 budget passed with funding intact.
For this to be gone, people my age, the kids, the parents, they're all going to be lost.
And the feeling is mutual for Roberta Kasinko, president of the Parent Family Group. She's been involved with the AIU Family Centers a little over 15 years. What first brought her to the AIU was her daughter, who was born premature. She's 18 now, but mentally 12. The AIU continues to provide therapy and support in a way that puts Roberta's mind at ease.
Being able to bring her down here and put her in a room with a skilled person and go into the other room and be able to know that she's safe.
And a safe space is exactly what the AIU Family Centers are, serving thousands of local families and children every year with an abundance of services for free.
A godsend, amazing place, like angels.
In this edition of Facts and Figures, we are taking a closer look at the AIU's reach. The AIU may be headquartered in Homestead, but it affects thousands of learners across Allegheny County. Let's start with 42, as in the 42 school districts we serve, ranging from the north, as in North Allegheny, not to mention South, East, and West Allegheny. We work in districts big and small, whether it's Duquesne in the Mon Valley or Gateway in the county's eastern suburbs. And that's just the school districts. The AIU operates out of nearly 400 locations across Allegheny County. That includes 10 family centers, 3 schools for children with special needs, 2 alternative schools, and dozens of early childhood education classrooms, including our newest one at our central office in Homestead.
Students from schools across Allegheny County gathered at the AIU Central Office in December for the annual PBIS Secondary Student Summit.
You could just see her wheels turning. Like, she's like, oh, we could do this and we can do that.
Hosted by the AIU's training and consultation team, TAC, the summit is a place where students can gather to show their understanding and implementation of PBIS.
In a nutshell, reward students on being well behaved, doing good in school, good grades.
PBIS, Positive Behavioral Intervention and Supports, is an evidence-based framework for supporting students' academic, social, emotional, and mental health.
So this is a framework that we use with a lot of different schools, not only in Allegheny County, but it's a nationwide support system for schools, particularly focused around supporting student behavior.
I spoke with Jacob Minsinger, an AIU Behavior Training and Consultation Coordinator who helped to organize the event. He describes the PBIS tier system, where each level helps a certain subset of students.
Tier 1 are all kids. Tier 2, some kids who need a little additional support and intervention, and Tier 3, which is our most intensive needs and behavior supports.
PBIS gives teachers and students tools to model and incentivize positive behaviors.
And it's not just in the classroom too, I've noticed. It seems to be a conversation not just inside, but outside as well.
Yep, it's everywhere that the school is involved. And so some of the components you probably heard at the Student Summit today are around, first and foremost, the team that meets. So they are kind of the heartbeat of the system.
In the West Mifflin School District, one of the leaders of the PBIS team is special education teacher Mindy McClellan, better known as Miss Mac.
So the AIU bringing these groups of kids together and allowing them to have workshops that can let that type of learning happen with kids that are ready for that type of learning to happen is really neat to see.
Her school, West Mifflin Area Middle School, brings together students in grades 4 through 8. It's a wide spread of ages, but Miss Mac says that just makes student leaders more inquisitive.
They come to this summit with a lot of questions to see what's working and what's promoting good things, good ideas, age-appropriate behavior, and life skills in the real world. And they want to hear that from other districts and other students.
Her students' goal is to put their PBIS program, which uses the acronym PRIDE, to the test.
An intrinsic behavior motivator is to earn our what we call PRIDE tickets. So that is a system that we're going to fine tune, in which we really need some help with the digital side of things. How are other districts taking this behavior information through the ticketing system to see where the weak spots are, where the strengths are, and really kind of streamline that.
When you walk into a school that is working on PBIS, one of the first things you'll notice is an acronym like PRIDE.
So the P in PRIDE stands for participation.
Participation, responsibility, integrity, dedication, and empathy. Those values are what students, like Jonathan, a West Mifflin 7th grader, strive for every day.
Bring more positivity. I think West Mifflin is positive as it is. Bigger is better.
Over in the Elizabeth Forward School District, 6th grader Mila is a member of the Brave Bunch student leadership group, and her mind is racing with PBIS strategies.
Right now we're doing a 12 days of PBIS. So we have announcements on a video and they say a riddle for 12 days and we'll win what we call a Brave Buck.
To win a Brave Buck, students must exemplify the middle school's PBIS values. Be safe, respectful, accountable, victorious, and enthusiastic. Earning more Brave Bucks or Pride tickets earns you more rewarding learning opportunities.
Starts from 5 and it goes all the way down to 15, and everybody's just looking forward to earning all the Brave Bucks so that they can do whatever they would like for the 12 days of PBIS.
Top rewards include being allowed to attend assemblies and events like a students versus teachers volleyball match or a performance by a BMX cyclist. But students like Mila are also taking notice of what other schools are doing.
They were doing whoever has perfect attendance, so they do it out of all their schools from their high school and their elementary school and their middle school, and they did a thing where whoever has perfect attendance, whatever school has the best attendance, gets to get like a donut party or a pizza party.
Behind the values, the incentives, and the celebrations, teachers and counselors are collecting information about how students are performing.
So PBIS is heavy on collecting the data to make the correct decisions. Certainly there's conversation that comes into that, but when we're setting those expectations or needing to know as a school what areas to focus on, we're more data informed with that.
Natalie Bowers, a school counselor at Elizabeth Forward Middle School, is helping lead the Brave Bunch as they show off their PBIS strategies, including their poster project.
They worked really hard and they're very proud of it. And as an educator, it's very special to have that moment to see them be proud of themselves.
While her students show off their work and trade strategies with students from other schools, the adults are also talking shop.
So for us, the main conversation has been finding time where we're pulling kids in during the day and just when we can. We would like to have a set meeting time for the students.
That effort could lead to the creation of a club at the middle school, allowing 8th graders to better share what they learned.
There's definitely learning that comes from our 8th grade leaders and having our 6th and 7th grade present while they're making the posters and they're doing the announcements and they're passing out the tickets, because then the 6th and 7th graders can kind of see and look forward to what their role will be as a PBIS leader.
It's that focus on student-led work that drives AIU organizers to put on this event.
It sometimes helps to get some fresh ideas and fresh perspectives. And so we like to offer those opportunities for the adults. We also like to offer it for our students who end up becoming the voice and the vehicle by which this sustains itself in our schools. Because we know if our kids buy into it and are involved deeply, it's going to work much more than if it's just an adult thing that's being planned behind the scenes.
December's Secondary Student Summit was followed 2 days later by an Elementary Student Summit where the focus on positive behaviors continued, a critical tool for students of all ages in the ongoing effort to make them more complete learners.
That's going to do it for this episode of AIU Perspectives. New episodes will drop monthly in the spring.
Don't miss a thing. Be sure to like and subscribe here on our YouTube channel and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and X.
That's going to do it now. Thanks for joining us.